And pull up the PowerPoint.
There's a good 30-second delay.
Okay. All right. Take a moment and imagine a woman who wakes up every day and just feels as if she's given up. Have you ever felt that way? She lacks confidence, energy, inspiration. Can you relate to that? She doesn't want to get out of bed because she doesn't feel good about her life or who she is. Have you ever been in her shoes? Her marriage isn't what it used to be. Her relationships are crumbling. She's not confident. She's not secure in who she is. Is this you? She's not at her ideal weight. Her body's changed. She's experiencing changes in her body that she's never had to deal with before. Are you experiencing something similar? Something's missing. In short, life as she knows it just isn't fulfilling. It's not rewarding. It's not joyful. How is your life working for you? If you're like many women who have come to see me over the years, you've answered yes to some of the questions I just asked. And if you did, then I can tell you that you are in the right place. I've been exactly where you are, and I know that there's so much more to life. In fact, it was my own transformation that really brought me to create Style Finder and now to create my new Breakthrough to Beautiful programs to really help women and help my clients experience a transformation not only on the outside, but from the inside out. And I lead my clients through this experience, and it is profound the changes that have happened. I'm grateful that you're here today. I'm Michele, founder of Style Finder and creator of Breakthrough to Beautiful. And I'm so excited that you've taken time out of your day to share your time with me, because on this webcast that I'm very excited about, Unleash Your Beautiful You, I want to share with you some things that can help change your life. I'm honored to share with you tips that can help you to transform your life where you are. I'm going to tell you a secret. This is not one of the 6 secrets I'm going to share. But one secret that I have learned is that you may wake up and think everything's wrong with your life. And you may think you need a makeover top to toe, in and out. Now, regardless of how many changes you feel you need to make, start with one. Start with one small change. The tips I want to share with you today are all easy. They're not challenging, they're not difficult. And if 6 steps seem too difficult, start with one small change, and then another, and then another, and then another. That's the one thing I want you to keep in mind as we go through this today, because I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. And one small thing can truly change your life. So many women have come to me over the years saying that they just don't feel good in their own skin. They don't feel attractive anymore. They don't feel sexy. They don't feel desired. They don't know what to wear. They're spending way too much money on clothes. Maybe they've tried dieting, working with a trainer, even getting a makeover, spent money on jewelry, Botox, exercise classes, clothes, shoes, but still there's something missing. There's something fundamentally missing in them. They're unhappy, they're unfulfilled, and they're trying to fill the void. I can certainly relate to this, and I know you probably can too. I was there, and I know that deep in your heart, you know, like I did, that you're destined for more. You were not created to suffer. You were not created to be unhappy. You were created to be beautiful, to shine, to make a difference in this world. You desire to be the woman that you were created to be. You want to turn heads when you walk into a room. You want to be the woman who has an amazing relationship with her husband, with her partner, or if you're not romantically involved, maybe you want to be, and you're not sure where to start. I want you to be the woman who's happy and joyful for no reason. You don't need a reason to be happy. Just being alive is reason enough. I want you to be the woman who can put together a fabulous outfit in just a few minutes and feel great. I don't want you to walk around all day wondering, oh, is this necklace too much for me? Is somebody looking at me because my outfit doesn't work? I want people to look at you because you are rocking it. Now, my client Nancy is a wonderful example. She is a beautiful woman. She came to work with me several years ago, and we've continued our work together over the years. But when she first came to me, she was recently retired and just felt deflated. She felt frumpy. She felt stuck in a rut. She wasn't sure where to even start with herself or with her style. And so I walked her through the transformation, and she went from feeling just frumpy and lackluster to feeling like, yeah, I can do this. She felt empowered. She felt like she knew what to wear for her. And she felt like she was being authentic. She wasn't trying to be something that she wasn't. And she shared with me after one of our first few sessions together that she was working at a luncheon and she walked in, she was a greeter. And she said everybody that walked in walked past her, and she got boatloads of compliments. Everybody that walked in the door told her, Nancy, you look great. And I tell my clients that's the best compliment you can get. You look great. You look beautiful. I mean, sure, it's nice to hear, wow, I love your necklace or your hair looks great. But when someone says you look great, you know the inner matches the outer. It connects and it is magical. And for her to experience it not once, but over and over and over and over, you can imagine what that did to her confidence. She was like, yeah, what is up with this? This is fabulous. And that helped her to realize, hey, I'm just being who I am, and I've made several small shifts, and they have added up to a powerful transformation. And that helped her to really shine from the inside out. Now, you too can experience this transformation for yourself. You were created to be a beautiful, amazing woman who is happy and makes a difference in the world. And I want to help you do that. I want to share with you my best tips to help you feel sexy and desired, know what to wear for the body that you're in right now, how to get your mojo back. Somebody just wrote me yesterday on Facebook and said, I want to get my mojo back. Honey, I feel it. I feel you. I have been there and I got my mojo back. And now I want to help you do it too. I want to help you understand how to put together an outfit for who you are. This isn't about dressing like all your friends or anybody else. This is about finding your style and dressing from here out. I want to help you turn heads when you walk in the room. Not because you look crazy or wild or flamboyant, but because you are beautiful and authentic and you look put together and you look amazing. I want to help you look and feel beautiful from the inside out. It's not hard. I'm also going to share with you how you can go further with me to experience a truly profound transformation and be able to make 2015 your best year yet. So stay with me until the end because I have some fabulous tips that can help you right now and some things I want to share with you that can help you to shine your light bright. As a master style coach and self-image coach, I've spent the past 25 years helping women transform their style, but also their lives. There was certainly a point in my life where I felt frumpy, I felt fat, I felt frazzled. I felt just really fed up with who I was and where I was in my life. I knew there was something bigger out there for me, but I did not know where to go to find it. I didn't feel sexy, I didn't feel attractive, just didn't feel like me. I wasn't happy, and I had a feeling of uneasiness most of the time. Really, I just wasn't comfortable in my own skin. I wasn't settled. I didn't feel like, yeah, this is me. And I just felt like something wasn't right with my life. Actually, there was a lot that wasn't right. And I don't mean to judge my life, but it wasn't right for me. I was in an unhappy marriage for 11 years. Wasn't unhappy the entire time, but it got to be very unhappy. And I knew it wasn't right. I was unsatisfied with myself. And I really felt that my life lacked meaning. I found myself just going through the motions without really enjoying or experiencing what life had to offer. And I was so deep in a rut that I thought I'd never get out. Have you experienced this too? Really, I've struggled with self-esteem for a long time. And if you followed me for any length of time, you You've heard part of my story. I've shared bits and pieces of it. But really, from an early age, I was very self confident. I felt awkward. I was always taller than everybody else. And especially the boys. Growing up, I'm even taller than the boys, which made me very self conscious. Of course, I got picked on for that, and it made me feel like there's something wrong with me. You're too big. And it was ironic because my maiden name was Little. And I thought, there is nothing little about me. I'm meant to stand out. I'm taller than everybody else. But I never felt pretty. I was surrounded by petite, blonde, beautiful girls. And I thought, what's wrong with me? I'm not petite. I'm not blonde. People told me I was pretty or even beautiful, but I couldn't see it. I was too busy comparing myself to everybody else. And I felt like I'm wrong. I am not like the women in the magazines that I see. I'm not like the girls in my class that all the boys liked. What's wrong with me? And I just felt anything but attractive. And so I turned to food. Food was my solace. And I gained a lot of weight. And it's interesting. My whole family has struggled with weight at some point or another. And food was my comfort. I ate to numb out, really. And of course, I put on weight. And then I felt even worse about myself. And I would hide and just was feeling awful. And I realized that I was using food to really create a barrier between me and other people. I didn't want people to get close to me because I didn't feel good about me. Eating was a way to distance myself. And it's kind of interesting, if you've followed me, you know that recently I've lost about 10 pounds, which is, I feel great about, but I feel like I'm at a point in my life where I don't need that anymore. It's about showing off who I am. It's about being authentic, feeling great in my own skin, feeling like I want to connect with people deeper and just share. It's all about getting out there and making a difference for people and shining my light and just showing up, being the best I can be. But the feeling is so different. When I lost weight, when I was younger, I was ashamed of my weight. I used my weight to define my self-worth. And I don't do that anymore. And it is empowering, very empowering. If I choose to lose weight, great. If I don't, great. I love myself. I don't care what I weigh. I mean, I do care, but you know what I mean. It doesn't define how I feel about me. It might define how my clothes fit. I might be kind of bummed if my favorite dress doesn't fit, but it doesn't define how I'm going to show up. Now, your self-image, that's all part of our self-image. Your self-image really defines your life, and it helps you. It can either help you or it can hurt you. It can help you either hold yourself small, like I did for years and years and years. I held myself really small. Or it can help you shine your light and reach for your wildest dreams. And I want to see you do that. We are not meant to be held small. We are meant to shine, to get out there, to make a difference in a big way. Have you ever thought about something that you wanted to accomplish that was bigger than you? And then thought, who am I to do that? I know I have. And a lot of thoughts have come up that have held me back. Who are you? Why would you do that? Why would anybody want to work with you? Or why would anybody want to learn from you? Or why would anybody think you're pretty or want to date you or anything? And I know a lot of women have struggled with this. I know it's not, I used to think it was just me, but I know now that a lot of women struggle with this. And it can hold us back. But if we can overcome certain things, self-talk, limiting beliefs, and realize it is our limitations. We are the ones holding ourselves back. And for me, when I realized that I had the power to change what I believed about myself and to change my life, everything shifted. I was a victim for many, many years, a victim of my own limiting beliefs, and I made myself wrong. I blamed everybody, blamed everything on somebody else. I didn't take responsibility. I didn't step into my power for a long, long, long time. And it was a horrible, horrible feeling. And my life has come full circle. And I tell you what, I would never, ever in a million years go back there. Ever. Never. So I want you to think about what you want, your goals, what's out there for you? What do you really want? How do you want to feel? How do you want to wake when you wake up every day? I want you to be like, yeah, this is my life and I get to live it. When I wake up, I'm like, yeah, who can I make a difference for? That's what gets me out of bed. Sometimes my kids get me out of bed because I have to take them to school pretty early. But I get to take them to school. I get to experience that. I get to be there for them. And it's an empowering feeling. I don't make myself a victim. Sure, I have to get up and be on the road before 7 a.m., but I enjoy that. First few times, some days I'm like, I'd rather stay in bed, but I get to do that. And so I think when we can shift our mindset, instead of being a victim and having things done to us, shift it to being empowered and getting to do things. Now, I became a certified image consultant, style coach, a lot of different names for it, in 2008, and things have really changed in many ways. That was actually the year I turned 40, and a lot shifted for me. But I want to share with you really my transformation. And when in 2008, when things started to shift for me, a lot changed. And I went from being in a struggling marriage and feeling very down about myself to stepping into someone who is sure of themselves and confident and feeling empowered. Now, I want to share with you the six steps that can really help you. And I'm going to share some of my story through these 6 steps. So I'm going to take you over to a slideshow. Hang on 1 second and I'll walk you through the experience. All right. Step number 1. I want you to silence the self-talk. Before you can learn who you are, you must unlearn who you are not. Waking up to your mindset, your self-image, and your self-sabotage is one of the first things I want you to do to help uncover your true beauty. In my work as a style coach, I work with so many amazing, beautiful women who come into my studio and I think they're gorgeous, they look healthy, they're strong, they're sexy. But when they come in and they sit down, they tell me, my hips are too big, my waist is too big, I've gained 20 pounds, I don't feel good about myself. What they see is what's wrong with themselves, but they completely miss what's great. And I'll tell them, oh my gosh, you've got great hair, you've got this. Well, no, I'm too fat. And I know I've been there, I have done that. And so I want to help you shift that. Because with that glass half empty mindset, or really the negative mindset, all you can see, and all my clients have seen, is that they're unattractive and imperfect. Now, those negative thoughts help to keep them small. Recently, I had an experience with a woman who, she was in the office next to me and she came over to visit. She had on this gorgeous periwinkle jacket and I told her, oh my gosh, that is a fabulous color for her. I realized that the lining of her jacket was tucked up in the back and I helped to straighten it out. And what she told me, she's like, oh, I'm just too fat right now and this jacket doesn't fit. I'm like, no, the jacket fits you beautifully. The lining is just tucked up and I'm trying to help you fix it. And she said, oh no, I'm too fat. I'm too fat. I'm too fat. She kept saying it. And I convinced her, I'm like, you know what? This jacket is a great fit on you. It looks fabulous. Stop saying that. But what I've noticed is, and for her, it took a few minutes to convince her, but I sincerely doubt in these few moments, I was able to convince her that she wasn't too fat. And what I've noticed is that we women talk to ourselves. We say things out loud about ourselves all the time, but basically that's just the tip of the iceberg. When you say all these negative things to yourself or negative things out loud, what you're really doing is you're saying that 10 times over to yourself. So I want you to think about how many times a day do you say something negative about yourself? Now, your self-image was created at an early age before many of you can remember. But we absorb the comments, the criticisms, the critiques of everybody around you, whether they're directed at you or at somebody else. I know I internalized the standards of beauty that were instilled in me really from TV, from movies, from magazines. Magazines were huge for me. And I began to feel inferior because again, I didn't have long blonde hair. Wasn't petite. I was very tall. I was overweight. I felt like I couldn't be beautiful because I didn't fit that criteria. I felt like those were the standards to which I was judged. And when I came far from meeting them, it created a lot of self hatred and poor self image for me. Now, I want you to think about what you're saying to yourself every day. I don't mean out loud, but the mantra that runs through your head. I'm too fat, I'm frumpy, I look old, I'm tired, I don't deserve to be rich, beautiful, successful, blah, blah, blah. Whatever it is, I want you to take a moment and get quiet and listen closely. What do you hear? It's these words that are defining your self esteem, your image, and your life. And chances are, you didn't make them up. You probably heard them from somebody around you. Now, one thing I want to throw out there is if you have kids, especially girls, they're listening. They're listening every time you say my thighs are too fat. They're listening every time you criticize yourself. Whether you know it or not, they're paying attention. And I have heard girls say things to themselves that no young girl should even be thinking about. Now, we have 3 preteen and teenage girls in the house, so I am very careful about what I say to myself. And because I know that they're picking it up. And so if I ever hear them say something negative to themselves, I quickly challenge them to reverse it. Now, the action item for step number 1, for the next 1 to 2 days, I want you to track how many negative things you say to yourself every day. At the same time, I want you to track the positive. Just do hash marks if you need to, but I want you to really understand how many times you're saying something negative to yourself. Because when you can get clear on that, you can start to shift it. Your results may very well surprise you, but they'll also help you realize where you need to start making some changes. Now, step number 2. Step number 2 is know thyself. This is about getting away from comparisons and embracing who you were created to be. Who do you think you are? This is time to get up close and personal and realize how awesome and amazing you are. Men and women are both affected by self-image, but I've found that they fall prey to a negative self-image far too easily and let it stand in their way of success in business and in life. I remember years ago working with a beautiful client named Heather. I was at her home and we were about to go through her closet when she stopped and she had a funny look on her face and just didn't look very confident. So I asked her what was up, and she told me that she really didn't feel worthy of wearing great clothes. She had all these beautiful clothes in her closet, and she said she just didn't feel like they were right for her. I couldn't believe it because, of course, I saw this beautiful woman and thought, how can you even think that? However, I know, been there, done that, so I helped her to work on her self-image. We really spent a great deal of time working on the self-image, helping her understand and see her true beauty so that she could feel worthy. Now today, I see her often and she's confident, she's radiant, she's happy. She is not the same woman who was ashamed of herself, ashamed of her body, ashamed of dressing beautifully. She's come full circle, and honestly, if I didn't know any better, I probably wouldn't even recognize her. Now, I meet many amazing women, but I'm always surprised by how quickly they criticize themselves. So many women, at the drop of a hat, will tell you they've got thunder thighs, they're too fat, they're too this, they're too that. They don't see what's great about them. And when you're so critical of yourselves, it's got a huge impact on your life. Being critical of yourself is going to hold you back from going for what you really want. It keeps you from seeing your own beauty and your own true potential. Prevents you from taking risks, but it also keeps you in jobs, relationships, or situations that make you miserable. Have you been there? I know I have, and it sucked the life out of me, and I didn't even realize it. Now, you may be asking, why should I bother to love how I look? Looks really aren't important to me. My answer is because there is true power in claiming your own beauty. Once you begin to accept yourself as beautiful, your self-worth goes up. Others treat you with more respect. You treat yourself with more respect, and you send the message that you matter. You do so matter. And when you feel that you matter and that your needs are important, you're a more loving, giving person. You get that? It's not selfish to ask for what you want. Not asking for it is not serving you. When you are fulfilled and feel the way that you were created to feel, happy, harmonious, and joyful, it can be simple. It really can be that simple. But the power lies in looking below the surface and really getting to the root of your thoughts. If you want to make changes, you must first change your beliefs about who you are. Once you do that, you can do anything. My action item for step 2, I want you to write down 2 to 3 things that you truly like to see, feel, or experience in your life. Visualize how your life would be different. Be very descriptive, using colors, smells, details, and anything else that can help you to embrace it. The more you can fully immerse yourself in the idea, the more likely it is to come true. Step number 3 is see the beauty. See only what's beautiful in yourself and others. Be grateful for it and expect more. I know that might sound tricky. However, bear with me. After years of negative self-talk and hating myself and my body, the tapes in my head began to run on autopilot. I didn't have to think about what I said to myself. It just happened automatically, over and over. You're too fat. You're not good enough. You're not attractive. You're not pretty. That's what I said to myself every single day. But when I began to shift my thoughts, I began to see massive transformations in my life. In 2003, I gave birth to my first child, my daughter Ivy. And after years of struggling with weight, I actually gained more than 50 pounds with her. But I gave birth to a beautiful, healthy child, and something truly shifted for me. Each time after giving birth, when I was tempted to think a negative thing about my changing body, I would catch myself and instead feel grateful for the beautiful, healthy child I produced. I would shift my negative thoughts to something positive each and every day. It was a small step that yielded great results. Eventually, I began to look for the beautiful rather than what was wrong with me. I had been so programmed to look for what's wrong. But I started to look for what's right. I would find something that was pretty, looked good on me, or that I was pleased with. Then I would amp it up and do something that I loved. Something that made me feel gorgeous, beautiful, magnificent. And if that sounds like a stretch, it kind of was. But I got used to it. I stepped into it, and it was truly worth it. All it takes is a little patience and some time to reframe. Gradually, I began to do more and more and began to love my body for the hard work it did. I did give natural childbirth to Ivy and to her brother Dylan. Now, my other 2 daughters are stepdaughters, so I didn't give birth to them, but I'm grateful for them nonetheless. But gone was the negative self-talk and hatred of my body. I noticed at the same time that I became much more confident in who I was as a woman. Embracing your beauty does not mean that I want you to be all about your ego. It's really not about your ego. And I think a lot of women think, well, I can't be beautiful because then people think I'm full of myself. This is not about that at all. And I want you to really shift that belief. You can be beautiful. You are beautiful. And you were meant to see that beauty. You were created to be a beautiful woman, and which is all about being right, full, robust, feeling so good that you want to share yourself with the world. Too often, low self-esteem means keeping to yourself and turning inward. I've been there too. When I was young and full of self-doubt, I was focused only on me. I made everything about me. All I could think about was what others would think of me. Did I look fat? Was my hair okay? Did my shoes go with my outfit? By being so concerned about my appearance and wanting to present a particular image to the world, I had very little left to give. It took all my energy just to walk through a room and get past what I perceived as perpetual judgment. I realize now that I was the only one judging myself, but I was the cruelest judge of all. Now, when you put on something that's flattering to your assets, what I tell my clients is that your problem areas, your considerations, as I like to say, simply melt into the background. It's like a light turns on and you're just illuminated in a whole new way. Think about Oprah. She's not in perfect shape. However, she knows how to play up her assets. She wears the right colors, she wears the right cuts, and she looks phenomenal. Now, when you look great, you feel great. And then you transform from the inside out. I know when I look great, I'm a little nicer, I take my time a little more, have a positive attitude and energy that carry me through the day. When you feel beautiful, you open up for the world to see, and you can quickly and easily connect with others. You begin to see how beautiful you really are. Now, my action item for step 3, I want you to write down 2 to 3 attributes. And what I mean by attributes, positive things. What's great about you? Is it your beautiful blue eyes? Do you have gorgeous legs? Do you have fabulous hair? Do you have a great shape? Then find a way to play them up. It could be through your clothing, your accessories, your hair, your makeup. Do something that draws attention to what's great about you. Now, I'd like to take a minute and share with you a new program that we're offering. I am so excited because this truly is the culmination of, really, I like to say, culmination of my life's work. This is where style and the inner piece, the mindset piece, blend together seamlessly to create a transformation from the inside out. It is powerful. It is something that I have not had a mechanism to teach. However, I have found myself using the principles from this course unofficially with my clients. I found myself standing in the stores, coaching my clients when they don't feel confident. I found myself in my clients' closets, sharing with them what I've shared with you today, tips to how to feel better about themselves. Not just the clothing piece, but the inner piece as well. Now, this course is going to be a 6-week long course from the inside out. It is truly a life and a style makeover. And what you'll receive with this course, you will receive 6 weekly live webinars taught by me. Now, we're dividing each webinar up into 2 modules. There will be an inner piece and an outer piece, which will bring you, hopefully, inner peace. We're going to be discussing in each module, there will be a style element. There will also be a mindset element. Now, you'll receive video modules of these webinars so that if you can't be with me live on the webinar, you can watch it at midnight, early in the morning, whenever it's convenient for you. You'll also receive audio recordings so that you can listen to these on your drive to work, while you work out, again, on your own schedule. You're also going to receive an ebook full of templates, checklists, assignments, weekly motivational messages, a live Q&A, daily affirmations, and we also have some wonderful bonuses. In fact, the first 15 women who sign up for this program are going to receive my complimentary Style Finder ID assessment, which I'm going to tell you more about that in a little bit, but it is an assessment that helps you understand exactly what your true style is. You're also going to receive a free style chat with me to personally understand your style and how to dress for it. So the first 15 women, click on the link and you can find out all the details on our website. Now, let's get back to step number 4. I still have so much more content to share with you. I could be here all day talking. Now, step number 4, put yourself back on your list. I shot a video last week. I don't know if you saw it, but if you did, then you know I had an issue with this. I was being of service to others, but I was sacrificing myself. I woke up on Monday feeling stressed out and just, I was cranky. Big Daddy was not happy with me. But what I found is that I was not taking care of myself. Basically, I was last on my list. And I think after a busy weekend, taking care of our 4 kids, taking care of everybody else, I realized I had not given back much to myself. But as women, when we're the caregivers of the family, we're cooking the meals, we're doing the laundry, we're driving carpool, we're organizing everybody's calendars, we're working, we're grocery shopping, we've got to get our hair done, we've got to get our nails done. What about relaxation? Every time you do something for yourself, whether it's take 5 minutes to read a book, you go for a walk in nature, you go get a massage, you go have lunch with a friend, you fill your bank, you replenish yourself. But I know as women, we get so caught up in the busy. We're so busy, we're like, oh, I don't have time for that. I don't have time to have dinner with you. I don't have time to have a conversation with you on the phone. And so this is my reminder to you to let self-care go back on your list. Taking time out for you is key, especially this time of year during the holidays. It's supposed to be a time of joy, but I know for too many people, it's a time of stress. And I don't want you to wake up on Christmas Day or New Year's Day and think, oh my gosh, thank the Lord it's over. I don't want you to think that. I want you to have fun. I want you to celebrate every step of the way. And so when you take some time out for yourself on a regular basis, whether it's massage, having lunch with friends, spending an afternoon, even just sitting at your favorite coffee shop and people watching, or writing that book you've wanted to write, or just being on Pinterest, one of my favorite things, then you have so much more to give back to your family, your friends, your clients, your loved ones, your husband, yourself. You feel replenished. Now, taking time out for you doesn't have to be expensive. So if you're on a budget right now, don't let that be your excuse. It's not about the money you spend. However, the time you spend is an investment in yourself. Now, giving back to yourself definitely helps to make you feel worthy. You are worthy of taking time out and spending time just on you, whether you do something alone, whether you do something with someone else. But I want you to make it a habit. Once a week, twice a month, the more the better. But I want you to do something that's manageable. Now, your action item. First step 4 is write down 2 to 3 specific things that you will do for yourself this week. And when I say specific, be specific. I'm going to go have my hair done Thursday at 2 p.m. I'm going to go take a walk Friday at 6 a.m. I'm going to go work out. I'm going to go have lunch. I'm going to schedule a massage. I'm going to spend the whole day at the spa. That's what I'd like to do right now. Doesn't matter what it is. You could just go cozy up in front of the fireplace with a cup of tea and a magazine or a good book. Something that helps you feel recharged. And then I want you to tell somebody about it. Your kids, your husband, your friends. Hey, I'm doing this for me. Almost like a check-in. And then go do it. Don't blow it off. Step number 5, be your authentic self. Now, this has been a huge life lesson for me. I feel that finding my own style and really stepping into it has been powerful and a huge transformation for me. And now that I get to work with my clients to help them experience their authentic style, it is so powerful. And I've had so many clients have so many ahas because especially when they do their Style Finder ID assessment. Well, first, let me tell you what that is. If you have not experienced our Style Finder ID assessment, what it is an assessment that I created about almost 5 years ago. And it's something that will help you understand what your true style is. It will give you 3 words. My words are dramatic, romantic, and whimsical. And it helps you understand what's most important to you and how you need to dress to feel more like you. Also, it gives you clues about who you are and what you need and how you relate to people. Now, I'm dramatic, and what I've found is that means I need to stand out. So as we were talking about in steps number 1 and 2, I was saying all these negative things to myself that held me small. Now, when you're born to stand out, and you hold yourself small, there's a big fat disconnect that happens. And that's one reason I didn't feel right. I just felt like something was wrong because I was hiding. I wasn't out there in front of people. I wasn't sharing my message. I wasn't sharing my gifts with the world. I wasn't making a difference. And that for me, that's my personal story. I know everybody's wired differently, everybody has different things that they need, but understanding your true style can help you understand yourself. And I always say, how you do anything is how you do everything. So, how you get dressed is really it's an outward representation of who you are, and really should connect you with your truest and innermost being. Many clients I've worked with have had a big aha once they get their Style Finder ID, and they're like, oh my gosh, now I see. I was trying to make myself classic, but I'm really dramatic or I'm really contemporary. But I've also found that quite a few clients, maybe contemporary is, or I'm sorry, maybe dramatic is their supporting word, and they feel like, oh, it's not okay to stand out. So they're having the same struggle I was. They're feeling like, well, I want to stand out, but I feel like it's not right. I think we as women are wired to hide, aren't we? We're wired not to show ourselves. Yet when we don't show ourselves in a way that's appropriate, it creates a disconnect. So our Style Finder ID assessment is actually a bonus for one of the first 15 women who sign up for this. And I want you all to experience this. It is powerful. And just knowing that can really teach you what to wear, how to wear it, and how to help you show up in a way that's meaningful for you. Now, I recently worked with a client. Her name is Linda, and she's a gorgeous woman. I've known her for years, and she's always been very put together and polished. Yet when she came to me, she was a little unsure about her style. One day she'd wear very tailored suits. The next day she'd wear ruffled blouses and flouncy skirts. And her style was just kind of all over the map. She didn't really have a consistent style that made her feel authentic. She felt like, well, my clothes look good, but I don't feel like me. And so after taking her through the Style Finder experience, we determined what her style was. She was a classic natural, and her archetype was the genuine. From there, I walked her through a way of dressing that really highlighted her personal assets and brought the true ideals of the genuine, which is the archetype, of that to the front. And she had so many ahas along the way. It's like I could just see the light bulbs going off. And I saw her during the transformation, and then I saw her several weeks later. And oh my gosh, I was blown away. I was like, oh my, she looked phenomenal. I wish I'd taken a picture of her. But here was somebody who went from always looking pulled together. I mean, she wasn't somebody you'd look at and think, wow, she needs a makeover. But she had taken it up about 1,000 notches. And my jaw literally hit the floor. I mean, she was not only spot on with her colors, but it really was the style of clothing. And it wasn't like I looked at her and thought, wow, that's a beautiful blouse. I looked at her and thought, wow, she looks beautiful. It was about her. The clothing did not overpower her. She radiated through the clothing. And that's really my goal for my clients. So I want you to really get away from what you feel like you should be. If you feel like you've always been dressing in a certain way, or you should be a certain something, or you've really just fallen into a rut and you really don't know what your style is, it's time to understand what makes you feel authentic. And I want you to start with your style. So stop trying to be a blonde, stop trying to be 10 years younger, stop trying to be 10 pounds thinner, although it helps to dress in a way that's flattering. But stop trying to hide the fact that you're struggling in your life. I know so many women, so many people really, who are struggling with relationships or finances or something, and there's so much shame attached to that. But what I think the beauty of it is that we all have our journey. We all have our life lessons to learn. And when we hide it, we hold ourselves small. We are encompassed with shame. But when we can acknowledge it and say, hey, I'm going through this right now, it's part of my journey, and ask for help, what I've found is that there are so many other people who will support you and want to see you succeed. It is powerful. So be authentic in who you are and how you show up. But my action item for you is to express yourself. I want you to put on something today, right now. I've had clients get off calls with me and they're like, I'm going to go put on those earrings that I know will light me up. And they email me and they're like, oh my gosh, it made such a difference. Put on something today. Get off this webinar and go find something that makes you light up. Something you found in your travels. It could be an heirloom or a favorite jacket. Take note of how it makes you feel. I read a blog post a while back called The 5 F's of Shopping, but it's really I should rename it The 5 F's of Getting Dressed. And how you feel is a huge one. How does it make you feel? And how can you find other things in your wardrobe that make you feel the same way? When you do, you are on your way to creating your signature style. Now, step number 6, celebrate you. Celebrating the small things will add up to one incredible life. Now, what's the last thing you celebrated, other than your birthday, an anniversary, or a promotion? If you can't remember, then I want you to see if you can find something. Your life is meant to be celebrated. And taking time out to give yourself a pat on the back, eat dessert, even pop open a bottle of champagne or do a happy dance can go a long way in helping you feel fulfilled and worthy and just happier all around. You work hard in your life, so no matter what you do, there have to be things you can celebrate along the way. You took time out for yourself. Yes, celebrate that. You went to workout class. Celebrate that. You put together a kick butt outfit. Celebrate that. You get the point. It could be the fact that you drank 8 glasses of water that day, or you ate healthy, or you shifted your mindset to say something nice when you really wanted to say something mean. I do that a lot. Pat yourself on the back, do your happy dance, play your favorite song, do something to honor yourself. I know a woman who pops open a bottle of champagne just because it's Monday. And I'm like, that is so cool, because Mondays are one of my busiest days. But Mondays can be the most challenging days as you come off the weekend, and finding a way to make it special. She and her husband find a way, or they look forward to it. And they know that there's a time they can enjoy each other's company, they can spend a few moments together, and they look forward to Mondays. How's that for cool? So when you take time out to acknowledge your accomplishments, no matter how big or small, you honor yourself in a way that makes you feel great about who you are. And you are amazing. Now, your action items. I want you to find 2 to 3 things to celebrate this week. Share with someone. It could be your kids, your husband, a friend. Your kids, especially if you have kids, have a dance party. They will love it. They might think you're crazy, but they will love it. And then they'll be like, when can I have another dance party? So find something to celebrate. Do it in a way that's meaningful for you. I'm not going to tell you how to celebrate. I am just going to tell you to do it. Do it. Now, I hope this resonated with you all. This is just a small portion of what I want to teach when we're diving deep into my Breakthrough to Beautiful program. And I would love to invite you to join me to be part of the 6-week transformational experience. It's going to be transformational. It can really, really change your life. I barely just scratched the surface. And if you think about, here's a great analogy. If you think about your mindset, and I used it earlier, you know how an iceberg is? It's pointy, and usually, like, here's the water line, you just see the tip. That's what we see, but what lies below the surface? Up here, this is your style. That's the outward piece. But really, what is below the surface, that's your mindset. And that is massive, isn't it? Like an iceberg, it's massive. And so when you have all of this massive stuff going on that creates how you show up, it creates the circumstances in your life, it creates your results. You can't just change your style and expect it to get better. It's not going to go away. And I know for a fact, because it didn't just go away for me. I've loved style and I've loved fashion for many, many years. And there were some days where I woke up and thought, oh, if I just change my clothes, my whole life will be better. And I felt better for a little while. And then I realized nothing's really changed. I was a little happier, but I want this to sink in deep, because 2015 is going to be a huge year for you. I know it's going to be a huge year for me in so many ways. And where I've taken my life, going from being overweight and not feeling confident about myself, the confident, you cannot put a price tag on confidence. You really can't. And going from being overweight and feeling like I am just not worthy of anything to the relationships that I had. I just celebrated, if you follow me on Facebook or my newsletter, you know I just celebrated my second anniversary with Jim. And you can see our family stockings behind us. There's Big Daddy's. We're so happy together. And it has been such a joy and a blessing to be able to blend our families and create a blended family that loves each other. And sure, the kids fight, kids do. But I think we've really gelled, and for he and I to be the leaders of that, I couldn't have had this relationship if I were not in the place that I got to. That if I hadn't learned to love myself and really honor who I was. And so it helped me to go from a marriage that wasn't working and was just really crumbling. And I felt terrible about myself and felt ashamed of my weight, my everything, to where I am now, which is I'm so lucky to have such a wonderful, loving husband, to have four amazing kids, to feel like I have a wonderful, thriving style coaching practice, to the opportunities that I have and the life that I have. I wake up every day just grateful to be alive and thankful every single day for all the beauty and abundance that surrounds me. Now, I really hope that this resonated with you. Like I said, it's just a small portion of what we're going to dive deep into on Breakthrough to Beautiful. And I would love to invite you to be part of that transformation with me. We've already had women sign up even before today for, even though it wasn't promoted, but several women called and needed this work. And so we have several people who are excited to be in the course. And it really is going to be powerful. And I really think that, having the courage to say yes to yourself is a really huge thing. That is, I used to have a bracelet that I wore, and it said, strength and courage. I wore it a lot during my transformation because I needed that. Every single day, it was strength and courage that got me through. And I want you to have the courage to do what you need to do to help you get to who you were created to be. And I know that you're faced with so many demands this time of year, being a mother, a woman, career, a wife, just taking care of everybody else. But it doesn't mean that you can't make a change. It just means that you need support. And I'm here to support you. I want to help you through this journey and give you small bite-sized pieces that you can do throughout your busy day and your busy schedule. We're going to make it fun. We're going to have a lot of fun. We talk a lot of style, but we're also going to talk a lot about mindset. And that might not seem like the sexy piece, but believe me, that's how you get your sexy back. That's where it all starts up here. Now, I have talked to so many women lately who are just not feeling the love. They're not feeling sexy. They're not feeling loved. They're feeling fat. They're letting their unhappiness override their joy. And that's not right. It's not right. I don't want you to do that. So take these 6 steps and really go through them. Do things that can help you find out who you are and bring even just a little bit of happiness and joy to your day, and then take it and more and more and more and more and more and more. Don't stop. Just keep it going. It's like an avalanche. Like, you start and you just keep it going. Because like I said, it doesn't have to be hard. One small step. That's where I started. One small step. I started by changing my self-talk. And when you can do that and just keep it going, don't go back. Just keep moving forward. That's where you transform your life. Now, I'd love to invite you to Breakthrough to Beautiful if it's right for you. Let me know. Let me know if you'd like to chat, if you have questions. Now, we have a couple of, if you're one of the first 15 women who signed up, and we have, like I said, we have several people already who have, claim those spots, but one of the first 15 women who sign up, you are going to get a complimentary coaching call, one-on-one, just me and you. We talk about your Style Finder ID and how you can really dress like you mean it, because that's powerful. And also, I know it's Christmas time. I know you're probably buying gifts. So you can do 3 payments. You could do 1 payment if you want to. It's $9.97 or 3 payments of $366 each. So we want you to be able to do this and just say yes for yourself. Now, if you know somebody who would enjoy this course, please feel free to pass it on. I would appreciate that. And your referral of me and my course would be the highest compliment you could give. So I want to thank you so much for being here with me today. If I can help you in any way, feel free to reach out. Would love to hear your comments about the webinar, what you liked, what you didn't like. Let me know. I'm open. And I won't take it personally, I promise. So have a very Merry Christmas. Have a wonderful rest of the week and find some time for you. You deserve it. Bye.